I just vacuumed a whole bunch of shit out of the living room. For whatever reason, and I know this is the time. My buddy put a lot of mental pressure on getting to Taylor today. I mean, he had that appointment, and for someone who likes to be punctual with a bit of chaos, I saw that he got that chaos by not knowing exactly what the address of the place was until today. I don't know if there was a reason for that or not. He posed the same in his thinking. So there might be some significance to it, you know? Maybe. I like putting those small pyramids on somebody's I gift them out. I gift them out. I put the small I like to give the a small one to somebody to put on their um he's got them in his truck. He's got two of them. They're rocking in there on the dash, the two lower ones. So that allows the moving around of the energy. Sometimes you find if you activate your vehicles using your manifestation magic, if you get the gnomes involved, you might have a breakdown. But usually in that case, it serves to cause an unknown problem to expose itself so it can be resolved, and then you've got a pretty good situation of a fix. I remember this from many times, so I've always applied uh, my magical thinking into the realm of the vehicle. You could say you could pray over it; it would be the same thing. Uh, you need to have more activities where you extend your light. You know, mine I feel is doing feng shui. I look and see where the planets are. I look out the door. I see a big ass Jupiter and Saturn. I see Neptune, and I feel the air. I start to sweep my way through my home, picking up the trash and adjusting it and vacuuming along the way. Because I live in a metal box trailer. I do. If I could live in a megalithic block building, I would choose that. You know, giant pyramid blocks, andesite, looking like a jigsaw puzzle, melted by some fucking squished worm from lore. Maybe. I'm cool with that. That would be my that would be my preferred material. But I don't have that. I live inside of a metal box. And it's not good for your biofield plasma, but it's not going to kill you. It's not going to kill you. You're just going to have a pressing down upon your aura, and it's going to cause you a little bit of stress. You don't have to feel like trailer trash unless you want to. Do you want to? Let it go. Then you got to contend. You got to contend with the dimensions of your house. Do you live in a square? You got a nice square footprint that you're in. Is it a weird shape like an L? You know, mine's the good old rectangle. I tie down the corners of the rectangle to different nodes in the yard around me that I've doused and I've discerned over time. It wouldn't be like a properly moored ship, mind you, you know. You need the lines to do certain things. But for the purposes of this, it's basically to bring the energetic state to pause. Whereas when it's set up energetically, I undo the fucking moorings and I'm underway. Just like on the boats. When you leave the dock, you leave the port, you start getting out in that water, you're underway. All your systems are operating. And I like to make this thing oscillate. I like to picture it like a flying trailer. Like, imagine an airship from one of those early games. I've always loved those old style airships. You know, would I have a Zeppelin balloon with a little trailer hanging from the bottom of it? Maybe. Maybe that's what this is. You know? I go to access a picture I don't have yet, and when I hit the search, I use a new feature that lets me create an AI image that I make sure to use my voice to describe it. So I go to the place where a picture should be and I create one. That's the only way I can use the AI now. And it works, you know, for the purposes of these videos. I can have it as a thumbnail, and I'm not suffering the public to some mindless slop. I've actually carved out a method within my practice to put on here. And now I can use that to make stickers too. There are some pictures that are only in my mind. I like to draw. I like to paint. I like to do shit like that. So I have an app that I can paint pictures with, and I have another one, a Mirror Lab, that lets me stretch and bend the pictures into all kinds of crazy ways. And those are the dimensions as far as I'm concerned. I can't make the case to explain it to you, but I believe that those are the dimensions that we're looking for. They're just enfolded already here amongst us. They connect in some origami way. Dan Winter's got this. It's a Star Mother kit, but it has a shape of sacred geometry that you can expand out and collapse back in. It collapses within itself just like the shapes do. Dodecahedron into the isocahedron, into the tetrahedron, you know, into the square. You know, they all fit and nest, but there's a certain way that you rotate and collapse, and then you can implode. Do you want to implode? I think you do. A man would like to explode like a volcano and then be at rest. But a woman is a more finicky thing. She's got to be like the waves. I think of a tsunami and a volcano making sweet monkey love in some like gigantic titan fucking way far back foggy image in the midst of early time in the garden of the gods type shit where the creatures are so insane, massive and powerful that you just can't you just are dwarfed. And I think the other realms are that way because they're inhabited. I mean, even the Earth Mother is, she's going through this change, and she is a she. We recognize Mars as being a male planet, and we recognize the Earth as being female. You know, maybe Venus is a little transgender. I don't know. Depends if Lucifer's a Lucy fur. think you could sell me on the case of Lucifer being a female. I could buy that. And I don't inherently think of the Lucifer as evil, but I I recognize it as failure, despite all its glory and attempts to illuminate the self and other self and whatever the exalting of pride that seems to be involved with the Lucifer story. It's just not. It stands out too clear to me. Now it's 11:22. My point was to get on here and make this message at 11:11. And I've been making a lot of videos to try to, you know, I've been seeing Gigi Young, try to dissuade people from thinking they're in a simulation. And she's a Christian mystic after the fashion of Rudolf Steiner. So I understand her perspective. You know, I also understand it does feel like we're in a weird matrix or something like that, but because we're misunderstanding our own torus uh, rotating plasma reality. We're in the consensus reality, but we really are that Merkaba. That uh, the Merkaba meditation's really good. I think I'm gonna get that and listen to it on this new. I've got a new listener. I like to play books, and I've gotten very old, tired after 10 plus years of listening to. Oh, it's been more than that. Okay, yeah, it's been close to 20 years listening to my Voice Aloud Reader app. Because I probably had it since 2013, so that's 13 years. 13 years. Yeah, I've had the same, and I was the only one that noticed that I wanted to put it in the English voice and drop the tones down. But this one has beats in the background. It has frequency waves, and it has all the different personality voices. So they've honed in on the purpose of why I want to use a specific voice and added the sound, because the background sound's going to help you plug the information you may be listening to into the right compartment into your wetware. So, but that's really all that's going on. We're not in the matrix, but we're not leaving the earth, leaving the timeline. We may we may reconfigure our aura and our light body and actually experience uh, the 3D from another version of reality, but we don't have to go anywhere to do that. We can do that right where we are at.